G'day guys, and welcome back to the YouTube channel, and in today's video we're doing the rise and fall of AFL teams. So basically in 2025 I'm going to say if they're going to rise up the ladder from the position in 2024 or they're going to fall down. So we're going to go team by team, alphabetical order. So without further ado, let's just get straight into this video. So let's start with Adelaide Crows, and I have them rising in 2025. Of course, they finished 15th on the ladder in 2024. So they were sneaked in that bottom four, but this year I have them going above that bottom four, and maybe a sneaky smoky for the top 8, because if you saw my early ladder predictions, I had the Crows in 2nd position or 3rd. I have them rising. I see them making the top 8. I'm really bullish on the Crows this year for some reason. I am really bullish on the Crows. I see them rising from that bottom 4, because there's always this one team that comes from the bottom 4 and rises up to that top 8, and I feel like that's going to be the team with Jordan Dawson, all these great players, and I feel like the young youth will rise up the rankings, and that's why I have the Crows rising. For the Brisbane Lions, I unfortunately have them falling a bit, even though they are the reigning premiers, of course. I see that a little bit of a downfall here. Of course, they finished 5th on the ladder, I assume, in 2024. So I feel like they're going to have a little bit of a premiership hangover. They'll still be in that top 8, but they'll finish like mid-table, top 8, like 7th. So I feel like they'll fall from 5th to 7th or something like that. But you never know with the Brisbane Lions. They have such a great talented team with Lockie Neal, probably has a couple more years in him, as well as Eric Hipwood, Kyle Oman, a gun for the future for the Brisbane Lions. And yeah, I'm actually interested to see how the premiership side will go in 2025, but I have them falling just a teeny tiny bit. Now for Carlton, I think they will drop in 2025 from their ladder position, as they finished in 8th in 2024, and I feel like it's like that kind of year for the Blues where they just drop off a bit and become a mid-table side and finish like 12th to probably 9th, you would expect. So I feel like they're going to fall from their ladder position in 2025. Well, it could go either way, because they have Patrick Cripps. I feel like the players are getting older, but Sam Walsh is still there. Matty Owi's got traded from the Blues, and it looks alright. They have Kerner and stuff, but I feel like it's not going to be enough to fill the list for the Blues in 2025. So I feel like they're going to drop off from their ladder position from 2024, and they're going to finish around 11th, I feel, in 2025. So now we got the Magpies, and I see them rising in 2025. Well, they have such a great list on paper, and they finished 9th in 2024, and I think they're going to finish higher than that in 2025. They have brought in the likes of Dan Houston, a young, big forward and play at half-back. He can play everywhere. Harry Perryman, and Will Parker, he's a gun. And I feel like they have very good youth and mid-aged people. They also got Tim Memory, which is a very big in for them. So I feel like the Magpies are gonna have to rise. They might even be a top 4 smoky, if I'm not gonna lie. They look like one of the next Hawthorn in the next coming years, and they look like one of the more scariest sides to play against. Now for the Essendon Bombers, I have them falling in 2025 from their ladder position, which was 11th. Of course, their team, they're very young now, with Isaac Kako and Elijah, Ben Hobbs. They don't have much star players anymore, and when you look at their list, it doesn't look too good. Of course, they have Zach Merritt, that's a big in. They got Jade Gresham from the trade period. He's going to be a gun, hopefully. Todd Goldstein, but he's old now. Even though he's a ruckman, he's not that good. Peter Wright is very under the radar, is he? And Sam Durham, Harrison Jones, but I feel like they're going to fall from 11th. They're one of those teams that I feel like will also fall to the bottom 4. There's also a big rock chance they fall in the bottom 2, but hopefully not. Now for the Fremantle Dockers, I have them rising in 2025. Of course, they finished 10th in 2024, and I feel like they're going to rise. They have such great youth with Caleb Sarong, Sean Darcy. Nat Fyfe might retire, I don't really know. Matthew Taberner, what a gun he is for his team. Jai Amos, he's going to be a big hope. for the Fremantle Dockers, so I feel like they're going to be one of those risers that sneak into that top 8. They were very unlucky in 2024 because Carlton knocked them out, and if they all had to win, if they won, they would have made the top 8. So I feel like they're pretty unlucky, but I feel like they're going to rise up from 2025, but yeah, we all have to see. So now I have the Cats falling from their 3rd position in 2024. I feel like they're going to range between that 5th position to 10th position. They can either slide out the 8 or just sneak into that top 8. I feel like they'll drop a bit off from that 3rd position they were in 2024. Of course, they still have their great players. They had a great addition to the Geelong side, who is Bailey Smith. Bailey Smith can be a great player, same as Jeremy Cameron. He can be a really big player, and same as Tyson Sengel. I can't wait to see what he has to bring to the side. Patrick Dangerfield. So there's still a lot of experience, even though of the loss of Tom Hawkins. But I see them falling from that 3rd position in 2025. But yeah. So in 2025, I have the Gold Coast Suns falling from their 13th position in 2025, unfortunately. I feel them maybe sliding into that bottom 4, unfortunately. Even though they brought in the likes of John Noble from Collingwood, I feel like they've lost a couple of big players, even though they also have Tuke Miller. I mean, they have lots of young players like Bailey Humphrey, Noah Anderson, Tom Berry. They also picked up Daniel Rioli, which is good. They have Ethan Reid, Ned Moyle. So I feel like they have a very, very young side going, and plus they've never made finals in their whole AFL career, and I don't see them rising up, even though everyone just assumes them to. I have them falling. So I have the GWS Giants rising from their 4th position on the AFL ladder from 2024. I feel like they're going to sneak higher up in that top 4, maybe even a minor premiership spot. They have such a good they may be young, but they do have some good talent in their team, like Lockie Whitfield, Tom Green. Of course, you brought in Jake Stringer, Jesse Hogan, the Goldman medalist, and you got Darcy Jones, and he's such a bright player for the future, I guess. You got Briggs. They're just going to be absolutely dominating. They're going to be one of the most scariest sides coming into 2025. So I feel like they're going to be rising up that AFL ladder for sure. They are one of the scariest sides with Brett Daniels as well. So now let's go with the most dangerous side coming into 2025. It's the Hawthorn Hawks, the Showtime Hawks. I go for the Hawthorn Hawks, if you guys don't know. I have them rising up the ladder. Of course, they were 7th, and they are they're absolute beasts, are they? They have James Warple, they have Dry Newcomb, they have that Mitchell, I think is injured. But yeah, Finn McGuinness as well, and the Cody Anderson and Miraz will see them in action, and also Jai Sarong, how good will he be, and Barris and Battle added into the squad. So I feel like, how are they going to go in 2025? They're definitely going to rise up the ladder, there's no doubt about it, the way they've been going, so I'm going to have them rising up the ladder. In 2024, the D's finished 14th, and in 2025, I have them finishing lower than that, and I feel like they're going to fall into the bottom 4. Yeah, with the D's, it's hard, but I feel like they're going to fall. They're going to fall into that bottom 4, maybe even that 17, 16 position with what's going on at the club. They don't have their star players anymore. They have very young players and not good trades. They have like Daniel Turner, haven't even heard him. Jake Bowdy. It's not looking good for the Demons. I feel like they might be worse than North Melbourne even this season. I think they're going to drop this season. That's why I have them dropping here. I'm going to have the D's dropping, and I'm actually concerned for their list. Now I have the North Melbourne Kangaroos rising up from their 17th position from 2024. Of course, they have more experience now, and I feel like the age may be a factor, but they've grown together after 4 years of like being in that bottom 4, and I think it's finally time for them to get out, and they'll rise in 2025 with Harry Sheasel, Caleb Daniel, George Wardlaw, Bailey Scott, Luke Davies-Uniacke and Jai Simpkin, and Nick Larkey, who will lead from the front with the goal kicking. So I feel like North Melbourne, they're going to have a very good year. It has to be the best year of their last 5 years, because it's been terrible for North Melbourne the last 5 years. But now I feel like they're finally going to break the drought, and they're going to rise in 2025. So Port Adelaide finished second in 2024, and now I have them falling from that position in 2025. Of course, they are a great team, but I feel like they're gonna fall off that top 4 and maybe even have a sneak out that top 8. I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, they may have great players, like they look good on the list, but I feel like things are not gonna click for them in 2025 for some reason. Of course, they still have Todd Marshall, Connor Rosie, they have Jace Burgoyne, all these young players, but I feel like it's not going to click for the Power, and they're just going to fall down, probably finish 10th at the lowest. Okay guys, so now I have the Tigers falling off. I mean, they're just going to stay at 10th basically, so that means down arrow. It's just going to get worse for them. Even though they brought in some good draftees, I mean, they've brought in 8 draftees, but I feel like it's going to be a flop for the Tigers here in 2025 again. They have lost lots of players getting traded because of how bad the club is at the moment. Liam Baker, Bolton, Rioli, all those players leaving, such as Graham. They haven't also got big ins from the trade period, so it's been very, very hard on the Richmond Tigers this trade period and how they're going to go in 2025. So it's not a good start early in the year, so I'm going to have them dropping off in 2025. Now in 2024, I have the St Kilda, 2025, sorry, I have them rising up from 12th position and maybe even have a little smoky in that top 8 this year. They look like they're going to be one of the most solid rising sides, but they're a side you never know when the Saints are. You know, one day they can be in the bottom 4, one day you see them in the top 4. So you never know where they're going to range from. They can literally range from 1st to 18th at this point, but I'll have them rising here. I feel like they're big rises. The Saints in 2025, yep, they're going to rise. I feel like they do have the capability to do that after some solid years in the mid-table. Now I feel like they'll rise to the top 8. So, if you guys don't know, the Sydney Swans were first on the table in 2024. So, of course, they will have to drop from that ladder position, I feel. They're going to fall probably still in the top 4. So, they're a very good team. I feel like they'll still stay in that top 4 with the likes of Joel Amati. What a player he's evolved over the years. He's become such a great player. And in 2025, he's going to be bigger and better. Same as Isaac Heaney. He's going to have a great year. And Errol Gordon. So, I feel like the Swans, they're going to drop just a little bit in that top 4. Now I have the Eagles rising up from their 16th position in 2024. I feel like they are going to be the next Hawthorn, the next big thing with Harley Reid, Tim Kelly, all these great players, and they're just going to rise to the top. Even though the loss of Jack Darling, they have Tim Kelly, all these great likes of players for the Eagles. Jack Ginby, he's going to be a big in for the Eagles coming into 2025. They are going to have a big year, are they, the Eagles? I feel like they're going to rise off. They can pull off a Hawthorn, but they're definitely going to get out of that bottom 4 for sure, in my opinion. I feel like they are ready, and they have been showing some good signs in 2024, so let's see. Lots of people are going to disagree with me with this. I have the Dogs sneaking into that top 4 in 2025, even though they finished 6th on the table in 2024. I feel like there's nothing else but to go up for the Dogs in 2025. They have such a great team. Of course, we've seen Marcus Bontempelli, how good of a player he's evolved. He's definitely deserving to win that Brownlow medal anytime soon. Same as Adam Treloar doing those work in the midfield, and young Sam Darcy, who is very under the radar for the Dogs, and he's one of the most underrated players in the AFL, and I see the Dogs rising up that ladder and sneaking into that top 4. If you are new to the channel, there's more content coming out like this on the channel, so like the video if you did enjoy the video, and subscribe to the channel for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.